Good evening. So God was showing me something about myself, and telling me something about myself that kind of shocked me a little bit not too long ago. And I had asked God, I said, God, what is something that I need to get rid of? And you will not believe what He told me. It's something I'll be telling you all about. I done told y'all that I'm not this and I'm not that. But God is not a man that He shall lie. He knows the stuff that we don't know that's inside of us. And He told me fear. He told me that I need to get rid of fear. I asked God what I need to get rid of, and He said fear. Okay? It shocked me, right? And it's true that I'm not afraid of warlocks and witches and all that stuff, but it's an area within my soul that was holding me back. And it shocked me, but it motivated me at the same time, because now I'm digging. I'm like, what? Okay, where did this come from? Why is this? How did it get here? What is it? What happened? It be things that be happening within our childhood a lot of times that we don't pay attention to, or we forget all about, and we don't put the pieces together. But with God, we can do all of that, and we can come up with a solution as to what to do and how to do it, how to break this off, how to break that off. And when I did that, it's true, which I knew God wasn't lying, right? But I said I need to see what He's talking about. And I dug and I found why. Sometimes we be picking our own professions and things like that based upon trauma, based on what somebody said, based upon what somebody told us that we should be doing, based on other people's opinions and things that may have happened to us in the past that made us steer off from a certain profession or a certain life path or whatever the case may be. And we steer off from that, and we end up choosing something else as our life path or profession. Even if we're good at it, we choose something else in place of the certain thing, because the enemy ran us off from what we was originally supposed to be doing. And so I originally am supposed to be speaking. So I'm going to use me as an example. I'm supposed to be talking. I'm supposed to be speaking. That is one of my gifts, come to find out. And like I told you guys before, I was silenced for so long. I would say 30 years of my life that the enemy has been trying to silence me, pretty much ever since that I could talk, right? So that is something to get broken off, and it has to be broken off completely. And I see why God got me doing this right here. This is practice. That's what this is. This is practice. This is training. And this is something that shocked me and also had me in my feelings, because I'm like, what? But at the same time, it's also freeing. So let God choose your profession. Let God choose and tell you which way you need to go. Because I know that a lot of you all, not a lot, but a few of you all was like, Miss Williams told me I was going to be doing this, or I'm this, or I'm that. You most likely are. You just don't know, and you don't see it because you're looking at something else. But if you dig deeper, a lot of times you will find that you are actually supposed to be doing something else. And you probably are going to be doing that, whatever thing that is you're doing too. But there's also a piece of that has to be there too. There's a piece of your gifts and things like that has to be a piece of that too. And the enemy will run us off from what that thing is. He'll traumatize us in that area so that we don't do it, or so that we don't view it as something that we're supposed to be doing, or something like that. I thought that I was being cautious. I thought that this was caution, but come to find out, caution and like being careful can kind of mask itself, and it could be fear instead of caution, because I thought it was caution. It was things that I was waiting on anyway before I did certain stuff, and I was waiting on a green light to be able to do it. um and I just finally got that green light to do certain stuff that I've been wanting to do, or some things that I know how to do, and I haven't been doing them. Like, I've really been holding back a whole lot, and I thought it was caution, but it was explained to me that it's fear. And it seems so unfair too sometimes, that the enemy, and seem like the other people, the evil people, they know who you are before you even know. It's like, y'all don't even give me a chance to know. They find out before you even find out. You don't even be knowing. You just be walking around here probably, and you don't know who you are yet, but they know. it seemed a little unfair. I'm like, don't I need like a level playing field or something? But when you think about it though, even though you didn't know, God been keeping you that whole time, and he's been keeping you alive this whole time. Even though they knew the whole time and you didn't know, you didn't have a clue as to who you are and who you were and all of that. And then you find out later on. It's like, why I had to find out through somebody trying to kill me like that for me to figure it out, for me to find out who I was? Why is it like that? Why is it this way? But they know before you even know. And once you find out though, then you can go from there. But it's like the evil people, they even know about the spiritual realm before a lot of us do. Like the people who are children of God, a lot of times we don't even be knowing nothing about no spiritual realm like that or nothing, or what be going on in there. But them evil folks, they know about it before everybody else do. So the enemy be using them straight up for the spiritual realm. Then later on we find out, I guess they get traumatized. They get traumatized too. The people that work for the enemy, they are in an abusive relationship because the enemy is abusing them real hard. They are getting abused, they're getting controlled, they're getting manipulated, they're getting lied to. Best believe they are getting it handed to them. The enemy don't like them either, but they get, a lot of times they get programmed in their head and they get used to that, and they start to feel like that stuff is normal, and it ain't. It's not normal to go through all of that pounding and trauma and things like that from the demonic, especially from the demonic. And when they do stuff to you, they do it. They do their absolute worst as much as they can to a person. And then they get manipulated again and lied to again. And then the voices and stuff in their head, they telling them certain stuff, lying to them, all of this stuff. But they still in there. And don't you find it interesting that these people be doing this spell work stuff and they know about the spiritual realm, but they still choosing to do evil? They know God exists too, and they still choosing to do evil. They know that they know that hell exists too, but they still choosing to do evil. That's a whole different level of evil right there. If you know that stuff exists, but what they don't know is the degrees to which their punishment is going to be. They don't understand certain stuff about what they are doing. And so that's where that come in at.